Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Our Drunken History. This is Zach and Travis. We are back in the shed. It's getting a little chilly out. It's almost November, so we got some holidays around the corner.
That's right.
Chill is in the air. Hunting season is kicking on.
It's in full swing.
I got my first deer last week. Arrowed it at 39 yards, double lung. I was pretty proud of that. Today, we are out here in the shed and we are talking turkey.
That's right. You know, turkey has a huge history. You know, you get talking about the Ottoman Empire and the history of like Constantinople and it's Istanbul now, and then you got the way the empire spread out. What are you doing? The turkey call, really?
This kind of turkey. The
What?
kind you eat. Thanksgiving turkey.
So we're not talking about Turkey, the country, or the Ottoman
No.
Empire?
We're talking about goblin,
We're talking about the birds?
white meat, dark meat, Thanksgiving pilgrim turkey.
So you mean I spent the last 3 days researching Turkey, the country, and not Turkey, the birds?
This is where words count.
Well, I guess I'm winging it. See what I did there?
Oh, very well played, sir. Huh. Well, guys, now you know a little bit about the country of Turkey.
Yeah.
But tonight we are talking about our feathered friends.
We'll have to touch on that one on another episode.
Yeah, we'll hit the Ottoman Empire up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so turkeys.
This is called a pot call. One of several types of turkey calls. One I've had for years. I've used it out in Montana to hunt turkeys. So
Yeah. Yeah, they use those type diaphragm calls within your mouth or
Yeah.
box calls, a little wooden box.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a big sport in the springtime here. You get a lot of the turkey hunters out in the woods. There used to be a fall turkey season here about this time of year.
yeah,
And but our turkey population has kind of dwindled down a little bit over the last few years through depredation, and so they've kind of put the kibosh on the fall turkey season here for now.
See, back home they still do a spring and a fall.
Yeah,
And I've actually never hunted turkeys in the spring in my life. I've only done fall, and usually combination deer hunt. So
I've heard that out west. That's pretty common because I guess in some states you can hunt turkeys with a rifle.
yeah, in Montana you can.
Yeah.
My dad shot one with a 30-06 one time.
See, like, because here it's shotgun or archery only. You can't use a rifle. So because we went hunting in Colorado one year, and we were talking to some locals there, and somehow we got on the subject of turkey hunting.
Yeah.
And they asked us what we hunt with, and we said, well, usually a shotgun. And they're like, how the hell you get close enough to shoot them with a shotgun? We shoot them with a rifle out here. Gotta call them a little bit.
My first turkey I ever killed, I don't know if the statute of limitations on it. It was with BB gun.
Man.
Shot it in the head from my dad's truck. We ate it for Thanksgiving.
Heck yeah.
I was 10 years old.
Nice organic free range turkey right there.
It was, yeah. I think we stretched the limits of legality on that one. It was delicious.
I bet usually those are the more tasty ones.
Yeah, it was lesson learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I shot that one. I shot another one when I was home on leave one time. I shot one on a deer hunt with my 12 gauge.
Okay, yeah.
I've only shot 2 turkeys.
I don't have an exact count. I think I've about a half a dozen or so is what I've got. Probably 5 or 6. I can't remember for sure. But
I do like wild turkey though.
it is. So those of that you don't know or have never eaten a wild turkey, and speaking of wild turkey, that is our theme today. We're gonna have some wild turkey bourbon right here. We're sipping on that. We went with the standard proof and not the extra 101.
Yeah, we saw the 101 there on the shelf and decided to steer away.
Yeah. This traditional wild turkey, unless they're eaten off somebody's grain farm somewhere, usually they're a lot more lean bird. They don't have as much fat.
But they're bigger.
They get big. They're one of North America's largest birds, and it doesn't hold the title outright for largest bird. It kind of shares with a trumpeter swan.
Yeah.
With the
California condor.
California condor, and there's a crane, a whooping crane. There's all cases of them, all those different birds being.
Bird. There's also a pelican that's in that argument somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Some species of pelican. That's a big fucker.
So they're definitely a large bird, and despite what you might have heard or seen or understand, turkeys can fly.
Wild turkeys can fly like crazy.
Yeah,
they're not only fast, they are a very agile bird in the air.
Yeah.
Most of them roost in trees. Actually,
Yeah.
They are a ground feeder, but they actually sleep overnight on tree limbs.
Yeah, they do spend a majority of their time on the ground, and I think that's where people get that confusion from. But yeah, they roost in trees at night.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, and around here anyway, usually the tops of really tall pine trees is where they like to roost.
Yeah.
And then, but then they'll feed off, and then usually if there's a predator or if they're trying to escape from some sort of danger, that's when they'll fly.
Yeah.
Then usually, but they're actually fast runners too. They can run pretty fast too.
No, I've back home in the winter snowstorms. They like spruce trees.
Yeah.
The spruce trees are so dense, and they'll crawl right in.
Yep, and it kind of acts as a windbreak and a
snow block.
Yeah,
everything.
So I think some of that too, the people have gotten that understanding from domestic turkeys. Like on my farm, I have a few of the white domesticated like broiler turkeys, and those suckers are fat. And I think I've got one that's way past his expiration date. That he's probably 30 pounds or more. He's huge.
That's a lot of bird.
But he just kind of waddles around, and he don't even think about trying to fly anywhere. Yeah. He might stretch his wings out every once in a while, and he's like, I'm done.
Well, just a reminder, guys, please hit like and subscribe.
That's right.
Also, we do have some episodes lined up, but if you guys have any suggestions, we are always welcome.
We're always open to suggestions. We have a poll going on right now on our YouTube channel, on our YouTube community page. Go check out that poll and vote for what you want us to record next. If the easiest way, if you're listening to the audio on this, if you've heard of beacons, go to our beacons page, and it's like beacons.com/ourdrunkenhistory, and it'll take you to a link with all of our social medias. It has our YouTube, our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram, all those on there on a list. And it even has a Cash App button. If you want to buy us a beer, you can contribute to the channel. Right. So we appreciate all the support, and if you want to check us out, likes and follows, it helps the channel out.
Also, when you're drinking wild turkey with your buddies in the shed, be safe when you're getting home.
Yeah.
Have a plan.
That's right. Yeah, you don't want
to beak the law.
But I don't think I'm going to quit cold turkey though.
Anyway, back to turkeys. Do you know how many species of turkey there are? Subspecies. First, okay, how many species of turkey are there?
Okay, if I'm getting this right, I think there's 2 North American species of wild turkey.
Yes.
Yeah, and then there's several different domestic. I forgot to even actually.
I'm not even counting them.
I didn't even look up the domestics, but
I don't care about domestic shit. We're wilderness people here.
Yeah.
So there are 2 species of turkey, wild turkey.
Yeah.
One of them is simply called wild turkey, and the other is ocellated turkey, and they are found in some of Mexico, Bolivia, Guatemala.
Yeah, they're Central America, Central and Central America. Yeah.
Yeah. Gorgeous bird. They look very similar to a peacock. They have the iridescent blue, green feather. Kind of if you saw one, you'd think it was fake.
They're a smaller turkey, but they are definitely the most ornate of all the turkeys.
Oh, yeah.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, and I know Mayan royalty that was kind of a thing for them.
They would use the feathers and make like headdresses and regalia and stuff with it. Yeah.
In the United States, we just have simply wild turkeys, but there are 5 subspecies roaming around the United States and some of Mexico, some and some going to Canada as well. Here in Arkansas, we have the eastern. That's what Travis has hunted.
Yeah, that's the only there's a I think they call it the Grand Slam if you're a turkey hunter. That if you travel and you want to go
hunt. There's the North American Slam and then the Grand Slam is when you have
that oscillated. And if you harvest one of each of the subspecies of wild turkey, you consider it's like almost being a fighter pilot ace. You can get your
exactly. So there's the eastern. The Merriams are the ones that I'm familiar with up in Montana. It's the ones that I've hunted.
And usually these subspecies, they're kind of a derivative of their environments. They've all kind of adapted to the climates and environment that they have kind of evolved in.
There's Florida has its own species that are some call them just the Florida wild turkey, but their actual technical name is Osceolas.
Yeah, and they're a pretty nice colored turkey as well.
They're a very pretty bird. They're also, from what I've heard, kind of the toughest one to hunt because they're super in tune with their environment and they're really, really skittish.
I think I've heard that they don't gobble either. Like they do occasionally, but
but they're more quiet.
Yeah, so they're harder to track down, harder to find.
Then there's the Rio Grande turkey. Is into Texas and up through some of the Midwestern states, Kansas, into some of Oklahoma, over into actually parts of Colorado have them.
Yeah, then did you say northern Mexico as well?
Northern Mexico as well. And then on the other side of northern Mexico, across towards the Arizona state line, there's a really smaller population of a turkey called a Gould's turkey.
And that's usually the one that people forget about. And I'd actually forgotten about that one until we started researching this. It's a smaller subspecies, and it's kind of just in a more local area around that.
Yeah, there's
part of the
just
United
not
States.
many of them out there. They're really, really. Yeah, they're in some of Arizona, some of New Mexico, and some of very northern Mexico. Small geographic area.
Yeah.
The Merriams, I believe, is the largest of the subspecies.
Yeah, I think it covers more area of their habitat is.
But just the birds themselves are physically larger as well.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, because I think I got that backwards. Yeah, you're right. The Merriams are a bigger bird.
Yeah, they're a big bastard.
But I think the eastern turkey has a bigger range of where it's.
Well, yeah, probably, because I know they have them into the Carolinas and up to.
I think they go all the way up north, up in the New England area as well.
Some into Quebec.
Yeah.
Up into Canada.
And then they go as far east. I know they go as far east as Oklahoma because I've seen them there. But we were talking about this before we started recording. A few years ago, when Arkansas was trying to reestablish their elk population, the Wild Turkey Federation,
National Wild Turkey Federation,
they brokered a deal with the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and they traded some eastern wild turkeys for some elk cows, and kind of did a trade.
A swap, an animal swap.
Animal drug deal, if you will, to help establish the elk population here and help reestablish the eastern wild turkey in Colorado.
Yeah.
So
fishing games working together.
Yeah, and they've done that with other species too. Like they've done it with trout. The Arkansas has stocked a lot of their trout in their lakes and streams from western fisheries, either in Colorado or Montana.
Yeah.
From some of their stock as well. So
I know right now. I know we're getting a little off subject animal wise, but there's a big bout of pneumonia hitting the bighorn sheep population in Wyoming.
Really?
Yeah. In the Bighorn Mountains, it's just. Like 10% of the sheep population has already died this year.
Wow.
Up there. So there's an island out in Flathead Lake called Wild Horse Island, and it has the they have a population of bighorn sheep there that are isolated, completely isolated from pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know for you guys who are not in the know, domestic sheep tend to have not an immunity, but more of their immune system is better fit to fight off things like pneumonia.
Yeah.
Where wild sheep don't. Like pneumonia in wild sheep is 100% lethal. Like they don't recover, they all die.
Yeah, because usually I don't know if I've talked about it very much or not, but I have a farm and I raise goats, and goats are closely related to sheep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if a goat or a sheep gets pneumonia in a farm setting, you have to give them antibiotics to get over it. I mean, there are viral types of pneumonia, but most of the time it's bacterial, and it's usually from this time of year is really bad because the
colder, it's damp
and cold, but then the temperatures fluctuate. It's just a breeding ground for pneumonia.
Yeah.
And you see it in close quarters at a lot of times, either like in barnyards or. Yeah. But yeah, sometimes wild animals will get close to a farm and they can actually catch.
And that's where most sheep get it, is when they a lot of people, in back in states like Montana, Wyoming, graze their animals in national forest.
Yeah, they have the free range.
They do mingle with wild animals and tend to spread a little bit of disease. So right now they're what I was saying is about wild horse, when they need to repopulate an area, since those are totally isolated.
Yeah,
they will go in and they will net bighorns from wild horse and take them in and reestablish populations after pneumonia.
Oh, okay.
Runs its course.
I've heard them doing something similar to that with buffalo. I think there's an island in California somewhere they do something similar to that.
Yep.
I don't know for what circumstance, but I know that every few years they have a big roundup there because they have to.
Well, it's a kind of a two-edged sword. One, it repopulates bison other places, but it also cuts down that herd so that they can.
Yeah, because that way it doesn't overpopulate that area. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to birds. So turkeys themselves are their population was, some estimates put it at, before pre Whitey coming over.
Yeah.
30 million birds in North America.
That's a lot of birds.
That's a lot of birds. And then, of course, we got here and pre-science, it was just kill what you will at the time. And
back then there was no seasons or no type of conservation or anything like that.
No, and turkeys are, in daylight, they have phenomenal eyesight. Yeah. But dawn or dusk, they really don't. They don't pick up in the darkness very well. So that's when, most hunters are out. Most predators are out. Yeah. And A, we killed the birds. B, we took down their forest habitat. And just through, multiple lines, we attacked a species and dropped it down to where it really was, exterminated in a lot of its native habitat.
Yeah, there were some areas where the turkey population practically disappeared. And
it was a few pockets in the Appalachians where all the easterns were. That's it. They had killed them all everywhere else.
Even here, when I was a kid, I remember there was a few years where during turkey season, they prior to that, like it is now, you could take 2 toms or 2 gobbler turkeys for your hunting season for your limit. There's a few years when I was a kid where they reduced the limit to 1, where because just they were trying to help the population recover, where they had gotten too low. And the thing is too, around here, coyotes are huge.
I got one on my trail cam showing up at like midnight.
Yeah,
every fucking night.
So is one thing this is my personal opinion, and I'm not a biologist or anything, but I do have experience with wildlife. And for around here, the turkey population, the 2 biggest predators to turkeys here are coyotes. Well, I guess 3: coyotes, bobcats, and raccoons. Yeah. And a lot of people don't really think about raccoons, and like you were saying before,
they eat the eggs.
They eat the eggs. Yeah. They will run a hen off of it. Like usually a raccoon isn't.
Well, and that's the thing is turkeys ground nest.
That's right. Yeah.
They don't put their nest up in a crotch of a tree. They put it in a little mound on the ground, and it's hidden in the sticks. And while the eggs are camouflaged to a point, they're not impossible to find.
Yeah, and usually the raccoons aren't big enough or brave enough to actually attack a full-grown bird, but they'll run the hen off and then eat the eggs out of the nest. But then even if, say, the hen hatches the eggs, the poults are usually susceptible to the coyotes, and raccoons will catch baby turkeys.
The cool thing about the poults is they only tend to stay in the nest for 1 to 2 days.
Yeah.
And then they're nomadic. I don't want to say nomadic, but they're mobile.
I'll tell you what, though, too, and they are camouflaged. I don't know if you've ever seen a wild baby, especially the eastern. I haven't seen too many of the...
I have up here deer hunting.
They are like a brown and white and cream
speckled
and speckled. And like if they lay down in the grass, they like disappear.
They look like forest floor.
Yeah. So and that's part of their defense mechanism is they'll just lay down and flatten out and just hide. And if you're not looking for them, then you can walk right by them and not see them.
I have so I bow hunt up in the Ozarks a lot, and almost every time. There's 2 spots that I go to a lot up there, and almost every time I go, I have a flock of wild turkeys walk in on me, and they've gotten 4 or 5 feet from me.
Yeah,
and it's cool to watch them coming through the woods. You wouldn't believe how quiet they are. You'll eventually want to step on a stick or something, and you'll hear it crack.
They are incredibly quiet.
40 fucking birds come in, and
unless
you won't even know they're coming.
They'll have like these little social calls where they'll have these little clucks or purrs or chirps.
Yeah.
But if they're being quiet, if they're not talking back and forth, they'll walk right up on you and you don't even know they're there. Yeah. They have like some pretty thick pads on their feet, and you think about going through a forest and all the sticks and leaves and stuff, and how much you sound like an elephant walking through the woods.
It's hard to be quiet in the woods.
A turkey can just
especially when it ain't raining.
Yeah, the turkeys can straight up just sneak through the woods.
They got ninja skills.
Yeah, they're ninja birds.
Yeah,
and then you take onto the account that they can see, like we were talking about before, especially in the daytime. They almost have like a bird of prey type vision. They can. They do. Yeah. They can see color. They have a telescopic vision.
They can also see infrared.
Yeah.
Which is something that. This is why hunters wash their clothes in special detergent that doesn't have brighteners in it and doesn't have scent added.
Yeah.
Perfumes added, because those brighteners make your camouflage, even though it's camouflage to you, it makes that. All the colors pop.
It'll actually reflect sunlight in the infrared band, and that some animals like turkeys or
they have an extra set of rods.
Yeah,
in their eyes. Ducks are the same way,
and they can see it like reflecting. And even though you can't see it to the human eye, other animals can actually see it.
That's why you got to hide. I don't know if you guys are duck hunters, but that's why you got to hide your skin when you're duck hunting.
Yeah.
See, ducks' eyes are set to pick up reflection off water, so they can find ponds when they're flying in the dark. Right, they pick up the reflection of the moonlight from the sky. Well, your skin reflects that moonlight as well, and you look like a moving puddle.
Yeah,
out there. So that's why you wear gloves, wear a face mask, wear a hat, whatever. But you keep as much of your skin covered as you can, because even though it's dark out, you look like a highlighter to a fucking bird.
You almost look like somebody turned on a lamp or a flashlight in the dark.
Yeah,
and it's just your face.
People don't really. Keisha, she's from New York, and she just didn't grow up in the outdoors or anything. And she's found it interesting learning about different detergents and shit that I use for my stuff. Yeah, because I have my own stash of detergent for my hunting clothes.
It's because like especially when if you see somebody, if you're going turkey hunting, especially around here where you have to use a shotgun or archery, you're head to toe camo, gloves, face mask, face paint. And that
Unless you're shooting out the window of your dad's truck with your Daisy.
With your Red Ryder.
Yeah. Blue jeans.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing, too. There was always kind of a joke that we used to talk about, because turkeys can see really well. They can hear exceptionally well, too. Even though you don't think of a turkey, they don't really have any visible ears. I think their eardrums are pretty much mounted on the sides of their head.
Yeah.
They can hear a stick break from 100 yards away.
Yeah.
And we always joked around, like, if a turkey had the sense of smell like of a deer, you'd never see a turkey.
No, they would always disappear.
They would just be like a mythical creature at that
You know
point.
how their head's all wrinkly?
I thought it was for like what I knew was for like they don't sweat, so it's like a radiator.
Oh no, I'm not saying, but you know it is.
Oh yeah,
there was a doctor out in L.A. that used there was a burn victim and used turkey skin as a prosthetic scrotum.
Really?
No. I made that. I totally
it looks just like a,
yeah, it's like a big old ball sack.
Imagine having a big blue ball sack. Where'd you get that? That's a turkey.
Is that a beard?
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. But turkeys do so. Male turkeys are called
Toms.
mature males are called toms.
Toms.
Immature males are called jakes.
Yeah.
Females are called hens. Immature females are called jennies.
Yeah.
And the babies are called poults, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the turkey nomenclature.
Yeah, it's crazy how there's all these different animals have different little names for
I don't know where they came up with Tom and Jake.
I don't know. That's something we might have to.
I tried to find it. I couldn't find it.
I tell you what, if you know that, leave a comment and put that on there, and we'll have to research that. Maybe.
I tried to find that. I couldn't find where the Tom and the Jake came from.
Okay. Well, we'll when we do our Thanksgiving episode, it'll fall after this. Maybe we can rehash that and figure out where Tom and Jake came from.
Yeah, I never figured that.
It's definitely not Jake from State Farm.
I have two cousins out in California named Tom and Jake.
Tom and Jake? I've got a cousin named Tom.
One of them is a professional chef.
Really?
Yeah.
Wonder if he's any good at cooking a Tom turkey.
I don't know. I think he's a vegetarian.
How can you be a professional chef and be a vegetarian?
It cuts down on your workload.
I get. So that's the thing does he cook meat for like?
I don't know.
Or is like, nope, that's against my religion.
I haven't seen him since we were probably 20. So.
Man.
This wild turkey is getting better as I sip more, though.
You think it's because as it sits longer, you think it's like a little bit of the ice melting in it, or do you think
I don't know. Maybe the ditch helps, but it's not bad. It's just I'm a gentleman Jack snob, so.
Or I wonder if just the more you drink, the better it tastes.
That's how most things are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But whatever.
It's definitely not bad. I think the last time I had it was when I was.
It's been a long time since I had wild turkey.
I think I was in high school the last time I had wild turkey.
It's been longer for you. I think it's been about 5 years for me.
I don't remember the last time I had it though. So.
Yeah. Wild turkey, by the way, comes from Kentucky.
It's a bourbon, right? Yep.
It is a bourbon whiskey. Yeah. It's got notes of sweet vanilla, pear, and hints of spice. Everybody, or they age it for 5 to 8 years.
5 to 8. Okay, so like because there's some bourbons out there that they age for several years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is 5 to 8, but it comes out of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, and I would like to try the 101 now.
Do you know? So you know how Jack Daniel's has their whiskey, which is technically not a bourbon, but they age theirs, but they have the Gentleman Jack that it's aged longer, and then they have the Jack Single Barrel. Do you know if Wild Turkey has like a premium
Tom?
The Old Tom.
Old Tom. I don't know.
Maybe that's something we can hit them up with. So if anybody at Wild Turkey
Kentuckians
is watching this, maybe we can take a tour of the distillery.
That'd be cool.
That would be
Kentucky
cool
for that.
And maybe we can start a Old Tom Wild Turkey bourbon that's maybe aged 10, 12 years, something like that.
Yeah.
See how that is.
A double beard.
Yeah.
Double beard.
The ground dragon beard. Like
Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of that, so like some people may not know that a tom turkey, a male turkey, will have a long beard hanging off their chest, and usually, and it's one of those things that it grows continuously. So the older the turkey gets, the longer and bigger the beard gets. So that's kind of a if you're deer hunting, you shoot a buck that you're looking for the bigger antlers,
bigger rack.
Usually the older, more mature bucks have bigger antlers. So your trophy for a turkey is usually a big long beard.
Yeah.
But usually the domesticated, the white butterball turkeys that they grow for food, usually just have a little short stubby beard. Sometimes they don't even have one.
Yeah.
It's because all of their energy goes into meat.
It's been bred out of them though.
Yeah.
Over.
So
That's the thing, the selective breeding of fat birds.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll hear a lot of these hunters and country folk type that like to hunt. They say he had a beard so big he dragged the ground.
Yeah.
Because when during mating season,
It's a dragon beard.
the turkeys they puff up, and it's called a strut. And they're all puffed up. They hold their fan out.
Yeah, their tail feathers fan out like a peacock's. They're not quite as long.
Yeah,
but same.
And they
same
put on
purpose
a display for the females.
Yeah, and the toms, they have these big fucking sharp spurs.
Yeah,
on the back, and some of them are. I mean, they and that's the thing is turkeys. Their natural defense is to get away, but once in a while they get defensive.
Well, they fight. They compete with other toms for mating rights.
Yeah,
and so that's another thing. Their spurs. That's another thing that grows continuously throughout their life. So you'll see some hunters will save the beard and the spurs because if they shoot a older, mature tom, he'll have big, long, spurs, sharp spurs on his.
Actually, once I think Massachusetts, they put out a. I could be wrong about the state, but one of the northeastern states put out a press release because the people were getting harassed by wild turkeys, and they said try and get them away. Kind of stand up to them.
No,
and
some turkeys have a bad attitude,
and that's the thing. People were getting hurt. Yeah, the turkeys were fighting back.
Yeah, that's something people don't realize, especially during.
They're saying spray them with your garden hose. Turkeys that get pissed off, come at them.
Well, I mean, turkeys. I mean, some people say they're smart, and they are kind of cunning, and they're elusive. Turkeys don't have a big brain. They're more instinctual a lot on their stuff, but especially during mating season in the springtime when it's heavy mating season, the toms are
aggressive.
It's almost like the rut for deer and elk. They are aggressive.
They get a one-track mind.
Yeah,
and two-track. They either want to fuck or fight.
Yeah,
I mean that's it. That's all they got.
And if you're standing there, there's nothing to fuck, so they're gonna fight you.
Yeah.
And maybe fuck you after that.
Go there and drag that turkey dick on.
Oh yeah. So I mean, yeah, they will. I've had turkeys on the farm that get aggressive like that during the spring and stuff. They'll fight you, chase you. Back in
I'd kick a turkey's ass.
Oh man, especially when you think when you're a little kid, a turkey is about half your size when you're a kid, and that sucker's all puffed out, looks like a giant bowling ball coming at you.
Yeah.
And they have that. I don't know if you ever heard it before. They make a sound. It's called drumming.
Yeah,
and
it's they got an air sac.
Yeah,
and it's I don't know how they make the sound. Is it them releasing air from the sac?
I think it's like they suck it in and they squeeze it out, and almost like a bagpipe or something. Well,
because sage grouse have it, and I've seen the sage grouse go on full display. That's the thing.
One of their closest relatives.
Yeah, so grouse, I don't know if you guys know what grouse are. There's a whole bunch of species out west. We have mountain grouse and sage grouse are our two most common, I guess. But sage grouse are like a mini turkey. They have the big fan, and they have the air sacs actually come out of their feathers.
They get a real big poofy, and that's how when a tom goes into a strut, he fills that air sac full.
Yeah,
he pulls his neck back, and he's all poofed up. That makes him look. He's probably 2 or 3 times his normal size when they're in a strut. They get
fucking big, yeah.
But they make that sound, almost like a growl sound that they make, and it's kind of crazy sounding when they do that. It's aggressive and intimidating.
It is, yeah.
But the grouse is their closest ancestral relative.
Speaking of turkeys, Travis, how'd they get their name?
A misidentification, really. So back when the first Spanish explorers came to the New World or to North South America, the Spanish collected several. That's one thing that people don't realize too. So going back even further than that, the natives of Central America had domesticated turkeys, And for basically
Up to 2,000 years ago,
Yeah.
they had domesticated turkeys.
And there was a turkey, I think it's called the Southern Mexican Wild Turkey, is what they think was derived from the domesticated turkey. And so these domesticated turkeys, the Spanish collected a lot of these domesticated turkeys that the natives had and sent them back to Europe. And they're a large bird that had eggs and they could use for meat. So they got pretty popular in Europe. I can't remember what they had called them up to that point, but there was also at the same time Turkish tradesmen that were coming up from Africa
With guinea fowl.
Yeah, and the guinea fowl is, if you look at a turkey and a chicken, a guinea is about in between size wise. They're kind of ugly, but they're native to Africa.
You're being mean now.
Yeah, but Europeans mistook some of these turkeys for whatever they were called at the time. They mistook them for guinea fowl from Turkish merchants, and so they called them turkey fowl.
Turkey fowl.
Yeah,
turkey hens,
and so the name kind of stuck, and now they're turkey, and they have nothing to do with turkey.
With the turkey you tried to talk about earlier.
With nothing to do with the Ottomans.
So both male and female turkeys have a fleshy protuberance.
Protuberance. That's a big word right there.
A dollar word. Hanging off the bottom of their chin, called a wattle or caruncle.
A caruncle.
Yes.
I've never heard of caruncle before.
Yeah.
I've heard of wattle, but I was thinking when you said
I think
wattle,
that's what scientists call it.
Well,
that's not what we call it. We call it a wattle. But it's a warty, scroty looking sack hanging.
And in some you'll see it actually too on some larger breeds of chickens too, like a rooster chicken
I did not know that.
Will have the little, almost looks like a ball sack hanging off their chin.
Yeah, is it the same?
Yeah,
I guess. I guess it makes sense.
And,
but it's not like a big old floppy.
It's like little pieces of skin, and it's usually red or yellow, whatever the predominant color is for the bird. They usually have them hanging off, or for a chicken anyway.
That has to help in heat dissipation.
Yeah.
Because turkeys have, kind of a baldy head.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're big, long, black feathers for the most part. Some of them have, obviously the ocellated turkeys kind of bluish green. Yeah. But the other North American species are pretty predominantly black, heavy feathered birds.
They so one thing I read is talking about heavy feathered birds, especially in the wintertime. They have real thick down feathers. Yeah. I think they said 5,000 to 8,000 feathers on a typical bird is how many feathers they have.
That was a lot of feathers.
Yeah. But so going back to the wattle, because that made me think maybe we might have to look this up real quick. They also have a protuberance, whatever you want to call it, hanging off the top of their beak.
Yeah, the nose thing.
And it's like hens have them, but they're small. It's a little stubby.
Theirs looks like like an egg tooth.
Yeah,
a little baby bird.
And then, but a mature tom, it'll hang down. It looks like a freaking phallus hanging off their face.
Yeah, I never even thought of that, but you're right. They got a ball sack on their chin and a dick on their nose.
So, what is? Because when you said wattle, that's the first thing I thought of, and then I realized it's their chin. So I don't know what the thing on their beak is called.
I don't know.
You want to look that up real quick?
Yeah.
What's the thing on a turkey beak called?
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
We need a researcher like Joe Rogan has, and he says, "Hey Jamie, look this up while we're talking," and he puts it up on the screen.
Oh, it's a snood.
Snood.
And it's defined as a fleshy flap of skin that hangs off a turkey's beak. I had never looked that up before.
I'd never.
But I'll tell you what, that thing. I mean, and I've seen them. I just never. I guess I never even thought about a guy staring at his balls.
Yeah, and if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to the audio, we'll put the pictures of all this stuff up on YouTube. Yeah.
Scientists haven't found any specific function for the snood, but it does fill up with blood and hangs over the beak when they're strutting or showing off looking for a mate. Basically, it's just their boner.
Well,
they're just showing off.
That's what some people, especially during, say, the fall time, when it's not mating season, wild tom turkeys are known to have a very colorful head.
Yeah.
Right? They're blue and white and
Yeah,
red.
yeah, very, very, very patriotic colors.
Very patriotic color head. But really, usually their head isn't that prominent during times when they're...
Yeah, it fills up with blood. I mean, it does. It fills up with blood and swells.
Yeah, and then so when during the...
Are we talking about turkey still?
Turkey... It fills up with blood and becomes...
turns blue.
Kind of turns blue, yeah. So in the springtime, a tom turkey's head will be bigger, more pronounced, and more colorful. And it's because they use that as a display. Usually, like in nature, a lot of different birds actually do this. The more colorful and more pronounced their features are, the more
better their chance of passing on their genes.
Yeah. So they that's why they say don't wear red, white, or blue in the woods when you're during turkey season, because you look like you might get misidentified.
Get fought.
But yeah, so they have the that wattle or
snood.
Snood. I think the wattles will turn red, and I think I've seen those snoods turn. I never even knew that's what it's called until just now.
I hadn't either. Yeah,
I've seen them white or blue usually, because I've seen turkeys will have their head, like the sides will be nice bright, like iridescent blue color.
Yeah. Like
the top, the crown of their head will be white.
Yeah.
And the wattles are red. Very, really vibrant.
This varies also subspecies to subspecies.
Yeah.
So some of them get a little bit different coloration on their head.
Yeah. And like a lot of other birds, the females are actually normally more of the generic bland colors, just the browns and grays.
The total opposite of humans.
Yeah. So the males put on a big fancy colorful display.
Talk about their snood size.
And then fight about it.
The spurs
kick each other until they...
Yeah, that's right. It's like going down to the electric cowboy.
Yeah.
We're snoods and spurs.
Yeah. So I wonder, since their colors and their heads are red, white, and blue, I wonder if that's what influenced Ben Franklin.
Benny?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a rumor, I guess. I don't know. Is that what you want to call it?
I think it's not necessarily a rumor. I think it's a common misconception, and I think it's one of those things that I believed until I researched it more. Really.
Yeah. The common misconception is that Benjamin Franklin had officially endorsed wild turkeys as our national bird instead of the bald eagle.
Yeah.
Which is... Maybe it's what he wanted, but he never actually officially stated that. It was in a private letter that he had written to his daughter.
Yeah.
More than anything.
He wrote this letter complaining to his daughter that they had selected or was considering selecting the bald eagle as the national symbol, the national bird of the U.S. And the way he described it is like the eagle was actually a dishonorable bird.
Yeah, because it would wait till other birds killed their prey and then go in and basically kick them away from it.
Steal their food.
Steal their food. It's a food thief.
And so he felt like the turkey was more honorable because it was, even though it didn't have the talons of an eagle, or it was more... It would fight you, like we were talking about people getting...
spur your ass.
Or it was more aggressive and more... He called it more a noble bird than an eagle was.
Yeah.
But this was all expressed in private communications, and that I think it got publicized, years later after his death, or when some of these letters became public and stuff like that.
Yeah, people kind of took it the wrong way.
But I'm glad, though, that the... turkey didn't get made the national bird.
Because they're delicious?
Because they are delicious.
Turkeys are delicious. And, not to mention, the F-15 turkey doesn't have the same fearsome sound.
Yeah, you'd think that, maybe... so what do you think would be if you're going to name an aircraft a turkey, what aircraft would it be? Like, I'm thinking... like
a C-130.
Maybe, yeah, because they spend a lot of their time on the ground. I don't know.
Then you'd have to, I guess, a C5. They never fly.
There you go, because it's a big bird.
Yeah.
A heavy
What is C5 is a galaxy.
C5 Galaxy.
I'm calling the turkey from now on.
C5 turkey.
Always on the ground, rarely in the air, and they're big.
And they're big fat fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We've renamed an aircraft.
C5 turkey. So U.S. Air Force. There you go. There's your new
That's right.
bird emblem for the C5.
Yeah, the fantail.
Yeah, they look like they're puffed up in a strut all
They
the time.
do. That's
Or
right.
they can raise their
And they can raise and lower their struts.
Yep.
To.
Yeah, so they're in
Oh
a.
yeah.
It's definitely a turkey.
Yeah, it's a turkey. And they have a snood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the gullet. They can just swallow all kinds of stuff down.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Well, guys, we really hope you've enjoyed learning about turkeys. I've actually kind of wanted to gear a couple of our episodes more towards animals. Because I just enjoy animals, but hunting season is here, and I don't know.
You know what though? Like when we first brought this subject up, we're talking about turkeys. I said, yeah, let's do it. But then I kind of thought to myself, like, can we talk an hour about turkeys? Like, can we fill up an episode with that? And you know what? We did, and
It's not that hard,
and it was fun.
and there's only. I mean, I could do deer for days. I could talk about deer. And elk I could talk about forever. And, I mean, I'm a big Shark Week fan. We can do Shark Week one next summer.
Yeah, so, this next August during Shark Week, we'll have to do a
Shark Week's July.
Shark Week's in July now?
My birthday's in July. So
okay.
So I know.
So we'll do a Shark Week episode.
Yeah.
Or a few, maybe. Because there's sharks are awesome. There's a bunch of different types of sharks.
Yeah.
So I got a few stories about that too, so we can do that.
I've had, side story, when I was learning, I never can say that I mastered it, but when I was learning how to surf when I lived in North Carolina,
yeah,
I had about a 10-foot bull shark swim right underneath my surfboard once.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a frightening
puckering
experience.
Yeah.
Me and my roommate, Pat, both about shit ourselves.
We trying to make myself small on that surfboard.
I thought, fuck, we're going to get...
all hands and feet inside the ride.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. I'd like to maybe check out some animals more.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. Animals and, well, I mean, really, man, I'm open to any subject too.
Yeah, and like we always say, hit us up. Let us know. We're always open to... one I would like to do is moose here coming up.
That's definitely on my bucket
there's a
list.
moose on the loose in Billings right now.
There's a moose on the loose.
In Billings, yeah. It made its way down the Yellowstone River and ended up in the middle of Billings, Montana, and it has claimed a spot in an empty drainage ditch by an old folks' home.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
there's a couple of videos I've seen online on TikTok of these... I think they're new to Alaska. They moved to Alaska, and they had to teach their kids to do a moose check before they go outside. So they open the door and look out the window or look out the door, check both sides, make sure there's not a moose outside.
I have woke up to a moose right outside my tent. A big, like a state record setting monster bull moose right outside my tent. On a fishing trip.
That's definitely on my bucket list.
No matter how much you have to pee, you do not go outside.
No,
because he was no shit me to you.
Oh, that's
outside the tent.
There's a video I've seen of a guy archery hunting moose, and the moose pretty much walks into the guy's ground blind with him, and he's standing there like 3 feet away. He shoots the moose from point blank range, like almost touching the moose. He lets go of his, and it just. Is incredible.
Yeah, I have some moose stories that I'll share with you guys during that episode.
That'd be awesome. Maybe we can do it. Hey, one of these days, maybe we can go on a moose hunt. That's definitely on my list to do.
I'm totally down to do that. I'll save it.
Yeah.
Guys. Again, thank you so very much for being patrons of our episodes. We love having you. We appreciate you. We want your comments. We'd love your stories.
Yeah.
We love your questions. And thank you so much for watching. Again, please hit like and subscribe.
Yeah, hit that. That helps us out. It helps grow our channel. Find us on TikTok. Help us grow our channel there. we're slowly growing on there. The more subscribers we can get on TikTok and on YouTube will allow us to do more live episodes and more social media updates with that. We'd like to start doing some live recording or live episodes while we're doing the recording, and that way we can interact with fans a little bit more.
That'd be cool, yeah. If we could talk to you guys firsthand mid-episode, that'd be pretty neat. That would be cool. We'd like that. We'd like to meet you guys.
Yeah, so hit us up on that, and we appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much, and enjoy the wild turkey.
Have a good one, guys.